When starting a relationship, we long to be treated with honesty and respect, fundamental pillars of any emotional bond. However, the reality of relationships often falls short of our ideal expectations, presenting unexpected challenges and testing the couple's strength. Human relationships are complex and dynamic, shaped by various variables such as personality, past experiences, individual expectations, and communication. It is common that, with the passage of time, the couple's dynamics transform, facing situations that can generate discrepancies between what we long for and what we experience. Infidelity is one of the most painful experiences a person can go through. It can destroy confidence, self-esteem, and the relationship. If you suspect that your partner may be cheating on you, it is important that you pay attention to the signs. In the coming and going of relationships, we sometimes overlook subtle signs, small details that, like whispers, warn us about changes that are coming. It is these silent signals, often camouflaged in routine, that can mark the beginning of instability that, if not addressed in time, can break the foundations of the couple. These signs are not always obvious or loud. These are not heated fights or dramatic breakups, but rather small cracks that appear in the canvas of the relationship. A change in communication, a distant look, a less frequent caress. It is these small details, often imperceptible to the naked eye, that can harbor the seeds of instability. It is important to be attentive to these silent signals, not to generate paranoia or unfounded distrust, but to open our eyes to a reality that may be asking to be heard. Sometimes a simple gesture, a phrase said in an unusual tone, or a look that avoids contact can be the sign that something is not quite right. However, it is crucial to remember that these signs alone are not a definitive sentence. It is not about falling into suspicion or immediate judgment, but rather taking them as an invitation to reflection, introspection, and sincere dialogue with your partner. In the complex world of relationships between men and women, Stoic philosophy offers us a valuable perspective to understand and navigate its dynamics. Through its emphasis on virtue, reason, and acceptance of what we cannot control, Stoicism gives us tools to cultivate healthy, lasting relationships. In this context, Stoic wisdom can offer us valuable tools to navigate this situation constructively and preserve our emotional well-being, heal from pain, and make wise decisions in such situations. Now let's start with number 1, emotional distancing. One of the most subtle but important indicators that something is not working well is emotional distance. This manifests itself as an emotional disconnection between the members of the couple, where communication is affected, intimacy is diluted, and the feeling of loneliness, even when together, becomes increasingly present. They used to be emotionally connected in a warm and present way, but now they seem distant and cold. This change can be deeply disturbing. Do you remember those first days with your partner? The hours flew between endless conversations, affectionate gestures, and the feeling of being made for each other. It was like you lived in a bubble, a world of your own, where only the two of you existed. However, over time, that initial magic can fade. Conversations become shorter, affectionate gestures become less frequent, and the connection that once united them seems to have been lost. If you identify with this situation, it is important that you pay attention. While it's normal for relationships to evolve over time, the decline or disappearance of those special moments can be a sign that something is wrong. Your partner may give you excuses such as being busy or stressed about work to justify their distance. While these reasons could be valid, there is also a chance that you are emotionally involved with another person. In the past, afternoons became a refuge to share dreams, desires, and complicities. The connection with your partner flowed naturally, creating an intimate space where your thoughts intertwined. However, now that panorama seems distant, replaced by a reality where the telephone has become the main protagonist. Your partner's attention is focused on the screen, absorbing their interest and relegating you to the background. Their responses become monosyllabic, their gazes lost in the virtual world. This new dynamic generates an emotional void that fills you with uncertainty and questions. Where has the connection that once united them gone? What secrets does the screen hide that captivates you so much? The suspicion that your partner may be sending messages to someone else or seeking refuge in virtual relationships takes over your thoughts. Physical intimacy is also affected by this change. The moments of closeness and passion that were once so common now seem rare or even non-existent. Your partner seems distant, unreceptive to your advances, and more interested in the virtual world than the real one. This situation makes you feel hurt, confused, and insecure. The image of the relationship they once dreamed of is blurred, giving way to a reality where communication has been fragmented and emotional connection has been lost. Stoicism teaches us the importance of facing uncomfortable truths and maintaining our inner peace regardless of external circumstances. If you find yourself in this situation, it is crucial to approach it calmly and rationally. Approach your partner with honesty. Express your feelings and try to understand what is happening. Remember that you can control your actions and responses, but not your partner's feelings or behaviors. By observing these changes and approaching them with a Stoic mindset, you will be better able to navigate the difficult waters of a relationship where emotional distance is becoming an issue. This approach not only helps you deal with the current situation, but also strengthens your ability to handle future challenges with grace and resilience. Number 2, they are busier than before. Have you noticed that your partner seems to have less time for you than before? Is it becoming more common for you to suddenly receive calls from a friend? This may be worrying news. In a well-established relationship, you usually become familiar with each other's routines and lifestyles. But when there is a sudden change, and your partner, a calm and relaxed person who used to be at home, starts spending more time away, it could be a sign that something is wrong. From a Stoic perspective, we must face these types of situations with courage and clarity. It's important to recognize the reality of the situation, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that you have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your partner used to come home right after work, and you would spend the evenings together, perhaps making dinner or watching your favorite show. Now he frequently has work events or impromptu get-togethers with friends that keep them out late. Maybe she used to call you during her lunch break, but now she's too busy or forgets to call you. All of these changes may be subtle at first, but they add up. Suddenly you find yourself spending more nights alone, wondering where he is and what he's doing. This change in behavior may seem like a betrayal, and it is natural to feel hurt and confused, but as Epictetus teaches us, what matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. Instead of reacting with anger or despair, try to approach the situation with a Stoic mindset. Have an honest conversation with your partner, expressing your feelings clearly and calmly. Ask him directly if there is anything. Recognizing their response or lack thereof can provide you with valuable information. Remember that the goal is not to accuse, but to better understand the situation. If your partner is really busy with legitimate reasons, he or she will appreciate your calm and considered approach. However, if she is hiding something, your calm demeanor may prompt her to reveal the truth, or at least think about her actions. If it turns out that your suspicions are correct and you are being deceived, you have the power to decide your next steps, whether it is to resolve the problems together or choose to walk away. The decision is yours in the end. Maintaining your integrity and peace of mind are essential. Life's challenges, including relationship challenges, are opportunities to practice Stoic virtues such as wisdom, courage, and temperance. If you stay true to these principles, you can navigate even the most difficult situations with grace and strength. Number 3, excludes you from their plans. In a solid and healthy relationship, communication is key. In the past, communication between you flowed like a mighty river. They shared their deepest desires, from weekend plans to their professional aspirations. It was a reflection of the deep connection and mutual respect that existed in their relationship. But now things have changed. Your partner seems to have sailed to a distant island, leaving behind the closeness that once characterized you. He no longer shares his ideas, plans, or desires with you, whether it's a business trip, a weekend with friends, or a new job opportunity. Decisions that were previously made together are now made alone, without your opinion or even without informing you. It's as if you lived with a roommate, not with a partner who shares life's dreams and desires with you. Consider this scenario. Your partner suddenly announces that he is going on a business trip next week. In the past, I would have discussed the trip with you. Maybe he even asked for your opinion or advice. Now, when you ask him for details, his answers are vague and dismissive. This change in behavior can be deeply disturbing. Openness and honesty are fundamental pillars to build a solid and lasting relationship. From a Stoic perspective, these virtues are essential for cultivating mutual trust, respect, and understanding, elements that lay the foundation for a deep and meaningful connection. When your partner begins to exclude you from his life, it is a sign that deserves attention. This attitude could indicate a lack of transparency or a breakdown in communication, which in turn can lead to distrust, resentment, and emotional distancing. Stoic philosophy guides us to face reality with courage and honesty, valuing truth and integrity as fundamental pillars. In the context of relationships, these Stoic principles can be useful in discerning possible signs of infidelity. A sudden change in your partner's behavior, characterized by secrecy and distancing, could indicate that he or she is hiding something important. While it is not a definitive sign of infidelity, it is a situation that deserves attention and honest dialogue. Let's consider another example. You used to plan your weekends together, anxiously discussing where to go and what to do. Now your partner makes plans with friends or co-workers without even mentioning it to you. You find out about these plans through social media or by accident. This exclusion can make you feel isolated and unimportant in your life. Such behavior not only breaks trust, but also shows a lack of respect and consideration for your feelings. Facing the situation directly and calmly is crucial when your partner's actions cause you pain and confusion. It is important to seek an honest and open dialogue to understand the motivations behind their behavior. Ask yourself if they are deliberately excluding you or there is a deeper problem they are not willing to share. Approach the situation with a calm mind and seek the truth. Have an open and honest conversation with your partner about how their behavior is affecting you. If your partner continues to exhibit an evasive and uncommunicative attitude, it is important to pay attention to these signs, as they could indicate a deeper problem and it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. Sharing plans with your partner is a fundamental part of any healthy relationship. It is a way to connect, to show interest in each other's lives, and to build a future together. However, when one partner stops sharing their plans with the other, this can be a worrying sign. Could indicate a breakdown in communication and trust, which are essential for a healthy relationship. Embrace the Stoic principles of honesty, openness, and self-respect as you navigate this challenging situation. Remember that you deserve to be in a relationship where you are valued. Number 4, they get defensive. Imagine this scenario. You have felt uncomfortable due to certain changes in your partner's behavior. Maybe you've stayed out late, hiding your phone or acting distant. Naturally, your instincts kick in and you decide it's time to have an open and honest conversation about your concerns. When your partner is not going through an episode of infidelity, but is facing personal or work difficulties, he or she will most likely seek open and honest communication with you. Instead of evasion or suspicious behavior, he will talk to you directly about what is happening. It will explain to you the causes of your stress, your worries, or the problems you are facing. He will show a willingness to talk to you and listen to your concerns. Together, they will look for solutions and mutual support to overcome the situation. He will give you clear and reasonable explanations for his actions. This type of response shows respect and a willingness to address the root of the problem together. When confronted with an unfaithful partner, your reaction can vary significantly. While some people may show regret, guilt, or even ask for forgiveness, others may take a completely defensive stance. Some people simply feel threatened or embarrassed when confronted with such a serious accusation and react this way as a self-protection mechanism. The conversation turns into a heated argument. Instead of addressing your concerns calmly, they might lash out, accusing you of being paranoid or insecure. This aggressive attack is the best defense strategy. It is often a red flag. For example, imagine you say, "I noticed that you have been coming home late a lot lately, and that makes me feel uncomfortable." A couple who values the relationship and has nothing to hide might respond with, "I understand why you feel that way. I'm overwhelmed at work. I'm sorry I haven't communicated better. Let's find a way to spend more time with each other." In contrast, a cheating partner might retort, "How dare you accuse me of cheating? You are always suspicious for no reason. Maybe you are the one who has trust issues." This type of hostile defensive response often arises from guilt and a desire to divert attention from one's own actions. When faced with such defensiveness, it is essential to remain calm and not allow their aggression to derail your search for the truth. Remember that you deserve a solid relationship based on trust and honesty. If your partner can't provide that, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship and prioritize your own well-being. By approaching the situation with a Stoic mindset, you maintain control over your emotions and reactions. This allows you to see through the smoke and mirrors, making it easier to discern the truth and decide your next steps with clarity and confidence. Number 5. Is not interested in talking about the relationship. When two people are deeply involved with each other and truly care about their relationship, they establish a deep and genuine connection. Open communication becomes a natural and indispensable element for the maintenance and growth of your bond. This form of interaction is characterized by transparency, honesty, and mutual respect, allowing both individuals to express their thoughts, feelings, and needs without fear of being judged or misunderstanding. In this context, open communication becomes a fundamental pillar that supports trust, intimacy, and mutual understanding. Both parties long to express their emotions, value the positive aspects of the relationship, and work on the aspects that need improvement. This mutual desire to open up and share reflects an authentic commitment to regaining the connection they once shared. Heartfelt conversations about your future together, your dreams and your plans. These discussions could have included everything from where you would like to travel to how you envision your life in 5 or 10 years. Such exchanges are not just casual conversations, but signify a deep interest in building a life together. When one of the members of the couple begins to systematically avoid arguments, it is important to pay attention, since this attitude could be a warning sign indicating the presence of underlying problems. Let's imagine an everyday scenario. You're trying to talk to your partner about how you have been feeling lately, or you want to address a topic that has been bothering you, but your partner seems uninterested or avoids the conversation. She changes the subject quickly, is evasive, or simply refuses to engage in dialogue, leaving aside your emotions and concerns. This avoidance can be worrying. Stoicism invites us to face reality with courage and honesty. In the field of relationships, this translates into the importance of having deep and meaningful dialogues with our partner. These dialogues, based on trust and mutual respect, allow us to explore our emotions, thoughts, and needs, thus strengthening the bond that unites us. However, when one of the members of the couple resists participating in these types of conversations, a red flag goes off. The lack of willingness to engage in deep dialogue may indicate emotional exhaustion, a disconnection in the relationship, or even the presence of more serious problems. From a Stoic perspective, prolonged silence in a relationship can be interpreted as an escape from reality. If your partner refuses to discuss topics relevant to the relationship, he or she may be seeking to avoid conflict or uncomfortable emotions. It is important to remember that Stoicism does not invite us to resign ourselves to difficult situations. If we perceive that our partner is emotionally exhausted or refuses to talk, we must take action. Stoicism advises us to face reality and engage in meaningful dialogue about our lives and relationships. If your partner is no longer willing to engage in such discussions, it could indicate that they no longer see the value in investing time and energy in the relationship, or they may be hiding something like an affair. For example, hoping to strengthen your relationship, you plan an intimate evening to talk about mutual support. You prepare a cozy atmosphere under the dim light of candles and an appetizing dinner. However, when you start the conversation, your partner's response is distant, apathetic, or even annoying. She might say something like, "Why do we have to talk about this now?" Or "Everything is fine. Why do you make such a big deal about nothing?" When your partner consistently avoids conversations that address important relationship topics, it's a worrying sign that deserves attention. This attitude may indicate a lack of interest in addressing problems or sharing deep emotions, which can erode connection and trust in the couple. In another scenario, you might notice that your partner becomes defensive or completely shuts down when you bring up problems in the relationship. Instead of addressing your concerns and discussing how they could improve the relationship, your partner might resort to accusing you of being overly sensitive or paranoid. This defensive behavior is not only hurtful and inconsiderate, but it also reveals a lack of interest or commitment to the relationship. Stoicism encourages us to seek truth and clarity, not only within ourselves, but also in our relationships. If your partner continually avoids these important conversations, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. Are you still the person who values and respects your shared bond? Have they drifted away, possibly finding a connection elsewhere? Remember that a healthy relationship thrives on open, honest, and frequent communication. If this element is missing and your partner shows no desire to fix it, it could be a sign that they don't care as much anymore. Stay true to yourself and the values you hold dear, and don't be afraid to face the reality of the situation, no matter how difficult it is. Number 6, they keep secrets. Openness and honesty are crucial. When your partner suddenly starts acting mysteriously, it's a major red flag. In the comfort of a long-standing relationship, where the days pass with almost perfect synchronicity, hides the possibility of an unexpected surprise. Monotony, that silent companion that watches from the shadows, can be interrupted by a change in the behavior of one of the members of the couple. This change, like a discordant note in a familiar melody, can generate confusion and uncertainty. What was once predictable now becomes an enigma. Shared routines, those small everyday actions that are repeated with precision, are altered by a new melody, an unknown rhythm. They become secretive and emotionally distant. This change can be unsettling and is often the first thing you notice if your partner is cheating on you. The mind seeks explanations, answers that give meaning to this transformation. Is it a simple temporary change of mood, or is it hiding something deeper? Doubts settle in, fueling restlessness and sowing the seed of suspicion. Let's break it down with some examples. Suppose your partner used to be open about his daily activities, but now he stays out late without giving you a clear reason. You also notice unusual spending patterns. They are spending more money, but not on gifts for you. These behaviors are never good signs and could mean that your partner is hiding something from you. For a Stoic, the important perspective is to remain calm and composed. When faced with these troubling changes, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. You can't control your partner's actions, but you can control your response. Reflect on the situation with a clear mind, without letting emotions cloud your judgment. Consider the possibility that your partner may have a legitimate reason for their secret, such as planning a surprise for you or dealing with a personal problem. However, if their behavior does not align with their usual patterns and they avoid discussing it, there is a good chance that they are hiding an affair. You may remember a time when your partner suddenly started staying out late, claiming to have to work overtime. Initially you believed them, but then you realized that they were also more cautious with their phone, always answering calls in another room. When you asked them about the extra money they were spending, they became defensive and evasive. These are clear indicators that something is wrong. In another example, your partner may start dressing differently by wearing new clothes you haven't seen before, or he may start grooming himself more meticulously than usual. This often means that he is trying to impress someone else, and when you ask him about these changes, he ignores you or gives you vague explanations. Stoicism reminds us that while these signs can be distressing, we must approach the situation with reason and composure. Have an honest conversation with your partner about your observations and concerns. If he continues to be secretive and dismissive, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. Remember that the essence of Stoicism is to maintain your inner peace and integrity regardless of external circumstances. If your partner's secrecy is causing you distress, prioritize your well-being and take steps to protect your peace of mind. Number 7. hide their phone. Most of us spend a lot of time on our phones. Every free second we have, we tend to scroll through social media, check emails, or message our friends. The partner may be no different from most of us, however. If he used to openly use his phone in front of you and now acts differently, that can be a telltale sign. In an ideal relationship based on honesty and mutual trust, couples should not feel the need to hide information or aspects of their personal lives. Openness and transparency are fundamental pillars to build a solid and lasting bond. When honesty and trust are the basis of the relationship, couples feel comfortable to share their thoughts, feelings, experiences, and any situation that affects them, without fear of judgment or reproach. This creates an environment of emotional security where both members feel free to be themselves without masks or pretensions. When your partner suddenly becomes secretive about their phone or computer, it raises a red flag. They may start leaving the room whenever their phone rings or when they receive a text message. If this happens late at night, when they think you've fallen asleep, they might be even more suspicious of having an affair. They may even go so far as to set a new password on their devices and act like they are afraid of you checking their phone or computer. They start carrying their phone with them everywhere, even to the bathroom or kitchen, just to have a glass of water. This change in behavior can be disturbing. Your partner may even accuse you of checking their phone and start a fight about it out of the blue. They use so-called projection to divert attention from their own guilt. They might try to make you feel guilty or paranoid for even thinking about it. You might notice that your partner now takes his phone to the bathroom, a place he's never taken it before. This change, along with other suspicious behaviors, may indicate that something is wrong, but instead of reacting with anger or fear, step back and observe. Communication is crucial. Calmly express your concerns to your partner, without accusing her. Absolute Stoicism reminds us that we must seek the truth and face reality with courage. If your partner's behavior is causing you constant doubts and concerns, it may be time to have a serious and honest conversation about the relationship. Trust is the fundamental pillar on which any emotional bond is built, and without it, the foundations of the relationship begin to weaken. Use this situation as a starting point for deeper and more honest communication with your partner. Addressing any underlying issues that may be affecting the relationship, whether it be miscommunication, resentment, or unmet needs, can lead to a stronger, longer-lasting bond. In the end, stay true to your values and principles. If your partner's actions are causing you distress, seek clarity and peace. A Stoic approach will help you navigate this difficult situation with grace and resilience by focusing on what really matters: your inner strength and well-being. Number 8. Change in spending habits. When you're in a relationship, you become familiar with your partner's spending habits, how they manage their money, what they prioritize, and their regular spending. So it can be quite alarming when you notice drastic changes in their financial behavior. Imagine discovering that half your salary has been spent in 2 days, but there is no evidence of any large or expensive purchases other than your birthday, and there are no special occasions on the horizon. This sudden, unexplained turn can be a big red flag. Your partner may become defensive or evasive when you ask about these new expenses. You could say that it is your money and you can spend it however you want, and create an unnecessary argument. This defensiveness may be a sign that they are hiding something from you. Let's consider an example. Elena noticed that her boyfriend, Robert, has been spending a lot more money recently. At first, she thought he might be planning a surprise for her, but as the weeks went by, there was no surprise. Instead, she found that Robert was becoming increasingly secretive about his finances. He didn't leave receipts at home and avoided talking about their shared budget. When she asked him politely, he snapped back why she needed to know what he spent his money on. This situation can become even more complicated if you live together and share financial responsibilities. Lack of transparency can lead to trust issues and stress, especially if bills and joint savings are affected. In this context, while you cannot control your partner's actions, you can control your response. Open a dialogue with your partner and express your concerns without accusations. For example, you could say, "I have noticed some changes in our expenses, and it is causing me some anxiety." Can we talk about it? If your partner continues to be secretive or defensive, it may be a sign that deeper issues, such as infidelity, are at play. Stoicism encourages us to face reality with courage and clarity. It is important to recognize the possibilities and consider your options. If necessary, seek professional advice to navigate this challenging situation. Remember that maintaining your inner peace and integrity is essential, even in the face of potential situations of betrayal. Number 9 is unusually focused on appearance. In life, it is normal for people to worry about their appearance. Both men and women enjoy looking good by taking care of their fitness, updating their wardrobe, and getting a haircut from time to time. So these are everyday activities that generally do not raise any red flags. However, if your partner suddenly becomes overly concerned with their appearance, it might be worth paying more attention to them. Consider this. If your partner who previously dreaded going to the gym suddenly starts exercising obsessively, this could be a sign that something has changed. Maybe they've developed a new interest in health, which is great, but it's also possible that this new enthusiasm is fueled by someone else's influence. The same goes for other changes, like getting a new haircut or completely revamping your wardrobe. From a Stoic perspective, we must remain calm and rational. Even in these situations, it is essential not to jump to conclusions, but to observe and question. What is behind these changes? Let's say your partner, who has always been comfortable in casual clothes, suddenly starts dressing up more often and even buys a whole new wardrobe. This could be a sign that you are trying to impress someone new with that style. In these situations, it is crucial to have an open and honest conversation with your partner and ask them about these changes in a calm and non-accusatory way. For example, you could say, "I noticed that you've been going to the gym a lot lately and you've gotten a new haircut. Is there anything new you're excited about?" This approach shows that you care and are curious without immediately jumping to negative conclusions. Meanwhile, remember that you can't control your partner's actions or motivations. You can control how you respond. When suspecting or confirming infidelity, it is essential to remain calm and act wisely. If his behavior indicates infidelity, remember that your partner's actions reflect his character, not yours. Don't let their behavior affect your self-esteem or dignity. Now you must decide what is best for your well-being. It's true that observing unusual changes in your partner's appearance can set off alarm bells. New haircuts, different clothes, or an increased interest in your physical appearance could indicate a desire to impress someone else. However, it is crucial to avoid falling into hasty assumptions. It is essential to handle the situation with a clear mind and a calm heart. Use these observations as an opportunity to strengthen communication and understanding in your relationship, guided by Stoic principles of rationality and self-control. In our discussion today, we analyze each sign, offering a glimpse into the dynamics that may be changing beneath the surface of your relationship. The essence of Stoicism lies in observation without hasty judgments, controlling reactions to external events, and seeking inner peace, even in adverse situations. This philosophy becomes especially relevant in the field of personal relationships, where we encounter constant challenges. By applying Stoic principles, we can face difficulties with greater serenity and clarity. This allows us to address concerns with an open and honest mind, facilitating effective communication. Focusing on what we can control, instead of ruminating about what is beyond our reach, is essential to maintaining calm and emotional stability. In short, Stoicism gives us valuable tools to navigate the complexities of personal relationships, allowing us to cultivate healthier, more resilient bonds. Remember that the essence of a strong relationship lies in trust, respect, and communication. If you notice one or more of the signs discussed in this video, consider it a wake-up call. Discuss deeply with your partner about your feelings and observations, express your needs, and listen to their perspectives. At this delicate time, open and honest communication with your partner becomes a crucial tool in navigating the situation, whether it leads to healing and strengthening your bond or a painful separation. It is important to recognize that there is no magic formula to build a perfect relationship, free of obstacles. Difficulties are inherent to life as a couple and are part of the learning and growth process. The crucial thing is to approach them with maturity, empathy, and an attitude of collaboration, seeking joint solutions that strengthen the emotional bond. The key to overcoming relationship challenges lies in honest and open communication. It is essential to express yourself clearly, listen carefully to each other's needs and perspectives, and work together to find common ground that meets both of your expectations. Although infidelity is one of the most painful experiences a couple can go through, it is not the only obstacle that can put the relationship at risk. Lack of communication, incompatibility of values, economic conflicts, or emotional exhaustion can also generate tensions and ruptures. It is important to remember that each relationship is unique and there is no universal model for success. What works for one couple may not apply to another. The key is to establish realistic expectations, cultivate fluid communication, and work as a team to overcome difficulties, building a solid and resilient relationship. In short, relationships are a constant journey of learning and growth. Although initial expectations may not always match reality, it is possible to build a strong and lasting emotional bond if challenges are approached with maturity, empathy, and a collaborative attitude. That's it for our journey today. I hope it has been revealing and full of learning for you and your partner. If you liked this video, give us a like, leave us your opinions in the comments, and share your experiences with us. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I invite you to continue traveling together, the path of timeless Stoic wisdom.